Stop eyeballing your pasture growth and start earning more profits. As a farmer, you already do a lot, from helping cows give birth to milking to managing your feed intakes to addressing on-farm emergencies. Juggling so many things at once is a lot of work. So something has to give, and more often than not, among other things, pasture management takes a back seat. Maybe you begin skipping your weekly RPM walks, or worse, you eyeball pasture growth rates. I hope you don't miss your breakfast. You are no doubt an experienced grazier. You've developed pastures over many grazing seasons, and you can easily make several pasture management decisions based on your experience and intuition. But how accurately can you estimate the amount of available forage on your pasture? Sure, you can slot your pasture paddocks into doing well, doing okay, and doing not so well categories, but and maybe you can even gauge how well a particular paddock is performing compared to last year. But can you eyeball the exact change in dry matter yields? Can you eyeball pasture growth rates over a 60-day period? And can you remember your observations after a few days? In this video, let's look at two aspects of pasture management. First, let's see how grass measurement can help you earn more profits. And second, let's also see how eyeballing pasture growth prevents you from earning more profits. So, is pasture measurement worth it? Let's begin by answering the most obvious question first. Why bother measuring pastures? I'll answer this with a few facts. Fact 1. Pastures are cheap. According to the latest data from the feed database of USDA, pastures were at least 20 to 50% cheaper when compared to the per tonne cost prices of a few commonly used animal feed types. Clearly, hay and pastures are your cheapest feed options. Yes, commercial feeds can be slightly cheaper than hay, but we both know that those feeds have a lot of filler material in them, and we haven't yet considered transportation costs, have we? More importantly, we've only considered the cost of hay as a baseline. When you grow your own pasture, the cost of producing it would be even less. According to researchers from Iowa State University, the total cost of maintaining a productive pasture is around $170 per acre per year. Since an acre can yield more than 1.5 tonnes of pasture, we estimate that the production cost for a tonne of pasture would be around $106. Fact number 2. Pastures are nutritious. But what about nutritional values? After all, lower cost should not mean lower quality. Hay and pastures have a wide range of dry matter and TDN values because unlike the other grains and mixes, pastures are live plants that are still growing. That means that it will have a lot more moisture than harvested grain or even dried out hay. This also means that pastures might have lower TDN values depending upon the type of pasture species and season. But still, improved pastures can offer competitive DM and TDN nutrition values ranging between 20 and 50%. Even when compared to nutrient-dense grains such as barley or soybean, this offers a decent source of nutrition and energy. Improved pasture species such as lucerne, fescue and ryegrass all have high enough DM and TDN values to make them competitive enough, even when compared to more nutrient-dense supplements. Fact number 3, pastures are profitable. I'm sure that you can see how lower feed costs can help you earn more profits. Stojanovich et al. Noted that grazed forage is the cheapest source of nutrients. Jeffrey Benson has found clear evidence higher profit margins per cow and per unit of milk solid for pasture-based farms. However, the opportunity doesn't end there. In addition to lowering your feed costs through effective pasture management, you could also significantly improve dry matter yields and production. Our own customers have managed to earn more than $60,000 in additional profits every year. How? Well, that comes next, so hold on. The disadvantages of eyeballing pasture growth. Effective pasture management is the art of maximizing dry matter yields and production outcomes. How profound, eh? To maximize dry matter yields, then you need to manage your pastures for optimum regrowth and maximum regrowth. And this happens through a particular growth phase. The pasture plant shouldn't be too small where a grazing event can damage its roots, nor should it be big, mature and well into its seeding stage. Just like how humans achieve their maximum growth between 3 and 15 years, pasture plants also achieve maximum growth between the above two phases. And when grazed during this quick growth stage, they regrow equally fast. But how do we ensure that our pastures remain in this active growth, the regrowth stage? The answer is, of course, through effective grazing and pasture management, by using pre-grazing and post-grazing pasture measurements and understanding the plant's life cycle with leaf stage. But why use these pasture growth measurements? What advantages does it offer over, say, eyeballing pasture growth? Shooting from the hip, I can think of 3 key advantages. First, measuring pastures regularly can help you spot small differences. In other words, the human eye cannot spot pasture yield differences of 100 or 700 kilograms of dry matter per hectare. Yet these small differences can make all the difference for your animals. It could mean that either your animals get just enough nutrition to survive or whether they get enough to thrive. Secondly, because the human eye is unable to spot small differences and remember pasture growth patterns on your farm over a long period of time, you miss out on crucial opportunities to make the necessary adjustments. You could say, lose out on an opportunity to irrigate or fertilize your pasture. That in turn could lead to a significant yield increase. And thirdly, accurate data has the ability to cut through personal biases, opinions and beliefs. You, me, both have the tendency to see what we want to see and believe what we want to believe. Data on the hand is impartial and it can help us see reality as it is. But even more importantly, accurate pasture growth data can help you earn more profits. McCarthy et al. Estimate that livestock farms typically graze at least half their paddocks too soon. Chapman et al. Went one step further and estimated that grazing too early and not achieving target residuals cost farmers around $600 per hectare every grazing season. Let me put it to you another way. Would you pay an extra $10,000 for your feed? Would you leave out $20,000 of milk to go to waste? Probably not, right? Yet, livestock farmers routinely leave out anywhere between $385 to $600 per hectare every year due to ineffective pasture management. Even on a small 200 hectare farm, this adds up to unrealised revenues worth between $80,000 to $120,000 every year. My question is, why are you okay with leaving out this money alone? Cost-effective pasture growth data. Maybe you're too busy to measure your pasture every week. Maybe you can't afford to spend about $6,000 a year in labour costs alone to measure your pasture. Maybe you don't want to invest several thousands of dollars into a seed axe meter or much more into farm moats or drones. Or maybe you thought that eyeballing was the best alternative, at least you did until now. But at least until now, you found that Pasture-io can give you accurate and automatic pasture growth measurements up to several times a week, right on your smartphone or computer for $8 a hectare per year plus a flat annual fee of $1,099. 30 years ago, farmers took pasture measurements with an inch of tape and maintained log charts. 10 years ago, they used RPMs and seed axe meters and analysed their results with spreadsheets. Today, you don't have to do any of this. Advanced technology has made managing pastures easier than ever before. It also automatically helps you with all the number crunching needed to help you take effective grazing decisions every day so that you can focus more on improving your productivity and profits. That brings us to the end. I trust this was useful to you. Please feel free to hit the thumbs up if you like this video or subscribe to our channel.